Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Two of Discs. I always like to think of this one as really trying to balance that higher sphere of being with that lower Malkuthian or material world, our base reality. Figuring out how we can have those energies flow from above to below. Okay, and so let's take a look at these tea leaves. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. When you do, it'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it's free to subscribe. All right, so we have some interesting, very cool. So immediately I've seen lots of different things going on here, but first I am excited to see we have a fish right here. You can see kind of the head with the mouth. Now we have somebody up here with a fishing pole, okay? And yeah, oh, maybe this is the person. Let me look. Yeah, there we go. There's the person right there. But there is the fishing pole here. We also have the triangle, which immediately I look at it and I think, okay, so there's a real fire energy. The upright triangle is the elemental sign for fire there. So, yeah. We've gone fishing, right? When I see the fish, I think immediately abundance, right? A flow of resources, money, items or materials that you need. If you have been building something, right? I always think of building, like building a house or beginning a creative project. You have to gather all the things, the wood and the screws and the, whatever you need, getting all that stuff together. Okay. And it's flowing freely, flowing your way. So, good. That's great. This is a most blessed sign of fortune coming your way. And with the fishing pole, we know you're putting in the work, right? You're out there patiently, and diligently waiting for that fish to bite. So it tells me that you have really been maybe career-minded, domestic-minded, working in different parts of your life, your creative projects, your, I don't know. I always think of, listen, I'm a Virgo, so don't take it the wrong way. But I always think of us as like, when I see a lot of the earth, the discs and whatnot, yeah, making money, very career-minded, but also so much about keeping our lives together, having a system for things, trying to be as orderly as we can, taking care of our household, taking care of, you have animals, maybe kids or family members you're taking care of. you know, whatever. I mean, collections of things, or you know, you have more than one job, or a side business, or, you know, but really focused on making sure there's a lot of attention going into these things that are important to you. Okay. And so, you know, I think that you have found a way here to make some money with something that you really do care about. Okay. So maybe you are in a career field that is passionate, that is close to your heart. Maybe you are doing, you know, I don't know. I think of like maybe selling things that you're creating, like on Etsy or like a farmer's market. That's like the ultimate, I feel like, Virgo, Virgo thing, like creating something with your hands because it is beloved to you, and then taking it to the farmer's market and selling it. Yeah, that's even like my dream, right? Haven't got there yet, but one day, one day. Now, we also have a little cat right here. Okay, and we have them playing with something. A little bit of cat and mouse, maybe. We have that fire energy. Something passionate going on, maybe. Okay, so I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing, and we're gonna tie the cat into this. I won't forget. You know, I love talking about the cats. We have a person here, okay, and it looks like this whole formation is is a person, wearing maybe like a long robe or dress. Like, I keep thinking of like a caftan. I think that's what it's called, right? I have a few of them. They're really cool. With all the cool patterns, and I remember actually, I know I'm going on a little tangent here, but I remember actually first seeing ones that I really liked in old Merchant Ivory movies. Which a lot of those are from, like, you know, the Edwardian era or a little bit later. And they would have these like Clement or the other, not Impressionists, but around that era. They would be printed on or, you know, probably sewn into these beautiful Kafkans, and they so gorgeous, so gorgeous. So anyways, I fell in love then. I was like, wow, you can wear art on your clothes. That's really cool. And so anyways, yes. So we have, and I feel it's a very earthy energy. We also have, right here, you can see, we also have kind of the real feminine, wow. I never would know what to say with the algorithm here, but I do the memories, right? So we have kind of the Earth Mother energy going on. And so this makes sense. We have the discs and very earthy energy. But we also have Virgo. So of course, also very earthy energy. And I feel like you were in a place of power here. I feel like you're really feeling like, I feel like there is a sense of purpose renewed. Okay. I think that there was a little bit of a period of time in the last few weeks, maybe, after all of the festivities of the beginning of winter, right? End of fall, beginning of winter. Lots going on. Lots going on. And then we get into those months where they kind of just, it slows down a little bit. Slows down. And, you know, we're maybe a little bit worn out and ready for a nap. But there's still a lot to do. but you're kind of coasting through it. Kind of just, you know, I don't know, going on autopilot a little bit. But I feel like in this time, as we're beginning to rise once again, I feel like there's a sense of coming up to the surface with just the, I mean, fire spirit, right? Just a sense of, yeah, there's like so much that I want to do here. I have still this time ahead of me between now and the next season. And I'm going to make use of it. I'm going to, you know, bring my attention to that which is moving to me. I feel that there is even a sense of, you know, maybe love, lust, sensuality, a sense of, and it feels fairly amorous, really. But it doesn't necessarily have to be for another person. I think, you know, this can be definitely centered on self. It can also definitely be centered on the universe or, you know, things that we really deeply care for. Finding something new, a new fixation, a new, you know, interest, hyper interest. And I feel like when you get into this place where you're like, you find something that you really, it can just pull in all of your focus. You know, you feel elated to get to that part of your day where you have time to just be in that space where you're doing whatever it is. And I'll tell you, for me, recently it's been, well, we got a fish tank, right? My daughter really, you know, wanted a different, well, she wanted us to get like a guinea pig or something. Well, we have the cats, and you know the cats, they don't listen. I don't even tell them because they just do what they want, and that's okay. This is their house. But so we got some fish, and I've really been so enjoying taking care of them. My daughter is, you know, nearly 4, but she likes them to see them. Maybe she'll feed them once in a while, but they've become mom's little, you know, kind of interest here. And I have a lot of joy with it. I just love watching them. I really do. So I think it's, you know, it's like this. You come into this place where, oh, I love this thing. I'm really interested in it. It makes me feel, you know, kind of alive in a way. And yeah, there's things we have to take care of, and we become kind of that, you know, nurturing archetype, and we take care of the things that take care of us. And they do, don't they? The things that we love, our hobbies, our passions, our, you know, the things that just, you know, whatever, they come naturally to us, or we spent many years honing them, or it's a new thing, we're just getting started with, whatever it is. These are the things that make life meaningful, not just bearable, but meaningful. That's why we have to stay not busy to the point where you're just losing it, right? And sometimes it's like that. But we have to have things. We need to have projects. We need to try stuff. You know, it doesn't have to cost money. I know, and that's a big constraint. And I understand that. You know, I've not had money most of my adult life, you know, so I get it. But we can find ways to do stuff that fits into our budget. Now, we have a 7 and we have a 2, okay? 72, or maybe it is 27, but it looks more like 72 to me. We also have, we have a key, okay, right here. You can see it right there. We have the key. We have a person standing here feeding a bird right there. And now we have the cat and the mouse. Okay, so I feel like, there seems to be, and I'm looking, I see a little bell right here. There's a little alarm going off. I kind of feel like you've been talking to somebody. Maybe this is an ex, lover, or somebody that, I don't know, somebody that you've had flirtations with. But I feel like, and I see we have the bird. So there is a sense of the sharing communication. It's not just them getting a hold of you. It's not just you getting a hold of them. This is like a very mutual thing. And I feel like this is one of those dynamics where it's like, for some years you're really kind of into it. You talk a lot, and I almost wonder if this is not very much in real life, or physical, but maybe this is something long distance, or like somebody you've grown up with, or you've known them for many years, and you maybe talk to them online, or I don't know, maybe you're like super awesome and you like do it snail mail. You write actual letters. That would be cool. But I feel like you'll talk for a while, and then it slows down, and life kind of happens, and you lose track, and then you find each other again, and it starts up. And I don't feel like there's really ill will here in those between parts. But for whatever reason, it just has never kind of worked out. And I don't think that there's anything sad about that. I think that there's a lot of love there. I feel like it's like, kind of something that you keep, for yourself, but it's unrealized, and that's what makes it sweet. Okay. Because I think that maybe I'm wrong, maybe if you did get together, it would be great. But I think that you feel like, anyways, that if you made this like you moved in together or whatever, it might make things kind of, not exciting. There's, it becomes something that is, it's not a flirtation anymore. It becomes a partnership, which is beautiful. But this maybe is not the person for you. You just really like to talk to them. You like to, kind of, be in love with them in a way that doesn't have a lot of responsibility, and that's okay. Yeah, that's fine, right? In life. Now, we have the cat and mouse, though, because I think there really is that sense of, kind of always thinking, this might happen. No, it's not. This might happen. No, it's not. It's just kind of, playing with the idea of, and it is kind of, I think I feel like this person would, in a heartbeat, be with you. But you haven't decided that, So, yeah, I see that. I think it will just continue to kind of be in that place. And I think it works with the way your life is right now. Okay. Now, let's see. I want to look. Oh, pretty. It looks like like the foothills going into the mountains, kind of. You can see kind of the crevasse and the little hillside and the trees. And I can see somebody up here, right? You can see them kind of leaping for joy. Yes. Yeah. I can imagine you're in kind of the promised land for yourself. What you have maybe kind of always hoped for, in a lot of ways, you're there. And I don't think that this is like a monetary number. I don't think this has to do with like, oh, I have the home and the right car and, the right spouse and the right number of children and, all that stuff. But I feel like it's like I'm in a place where I trust myself. I can look at myself in the mirror and I think, yeah, I feel good about who I am. Not only do I feel good about it, like I'm kind of really a catch, right? I'm pretty beautiful. I'm pretty, accomplished in the things that I care about. I'm intelligent and funny and charming and, all of these things that we kind of all hope to be. And so I imagine you're at least in your middle age, because that's, I think, when we really I feel like we start to feel ourselves deeply, right? Not in a way that I think is like self-involved or prideful or whatever, but really just to be like, I like who I am. I enjoy myself. I do. And that's good. And this is that place where it's like where the sun comes up in the morning, right? It is a beautiful, beautiful land to be in. It is a place where we find these moments of freedom. I think that's like the only freedom that we can really have. Like, I think it's when we begin to, and this is with the key, right? We begin to unlock that part of ourself and it becomes a gateway where we start to realize like, yeah, we are divine beings. I am fragments of the universe. I am fragments of God woven into me, or whatever you want to call it, divine. It doesn't have to be God or goddess or any of those things. It doesn't have to be theist or spiritual, but it kind of is, right? I am a powerful being. I exist against all odds. How we spend so much of our time doubting ourselves, at odds with ourselves, drowning in shame and guilt and not feeling enough or like the right thing. I don't know, I don't much believe too much in sin, I guess, but I feel like if something could be a sin, it would be that. To squander the gift that we have been given, the gift that we have created for ourselves. It's hard to remember that, though. It is. But then we come to these points in our lives where it's so obvious. it's just there. It's like, dang it, I am done. I'm done feeling like I'm not enough. I'm not the right thing. I don't fit into some other person's vision of perfection or whatever. Done, right? That's power. That's that alignment. It really is. That's where we begin. I mean, really begin. It's where we roll up our sleeves and we get into the work. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What do we have over here? What do we have over here? I'll make a song of it. Okay, so we have a little, it looks like a little bird right here. I imagine, now it doesn't look exactly like a chick, but I think it's something like a fledgling, right? Oh, and fledglings are my favorite because they look so grumpy and so angry and just like bitter. It's like a baby bird, right? But it's when they start to get their feathers in and they have like the weird eyebrows and their mouths are all kind of sick. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. They're the best. A couple of years ago, we were at a park somewhere and there was one, trying to learn how to fly. Well, it landed in a chain link fence next to a baseball field, and it was just squawking and squawking for its mom. Mom, come and get me. Mom, come and get me. And I thought it was I didn't know. I thought it was a big bird because it was, it was pretty big. And I went to go look. I was off by a distance and I could just see its like mean little face. It was not happy, but it was so cute. It was so cute. And here's the PSA. If you find a little fledgling on the ground underneath trees, don't move it. Most of the time they are just learning how to, and we're going into spring soon. So yes, don't move those birds. They are usually, gaining some energy back so they can try to learn, get back up and try to fly again. And they're bad at it. They're as fumbly as me. So I think that we're looking at this and I'm thinking, yeah, there's now we're all of this, we're all powerful right now, right? We're really into that alignment. Whew, things are, really heating up. But there's still, being a little bit clumsy here and there, not exactly knowing what you're doing. I know, I tell my daughter, she's like, Mom, why don't you know that or whatever? And I'm like, I don't know anything most of the time. Listen, I'm trying just as much as you are, trying to figure it out, kid. So yeah, there is that sense of still being humble, right? Still knowing that we don't always have it right. Still knowing that we're kind of making it up as we go along a lot of the time. So that's a good sign, right? Still being down to earth. Okay, and then we have a J. Okay, so we have a J, and that seems important. It could be a name. It could be a word that might be important to you. Okay, we're going to take a look at these real quick here. The Mary Magdalene Oracle Cards by Megan Watterson. Illustrations by Moonju. Okay. We're just going to flip through. Stop where it feels right. Ascension. Farther up is further in. There we go. This is the perfect card to go with the Two of Discs. It is. It is like the as above, so below, so within, so without, right? So, And what this means, you might think, what is as above, so below? So everything above, and we think of this as the spiritual realm, right? The realm of divinity, the realm of, grace and godly things or higher thinking, being in spirit and virtue and all these kinds of concepts. Now, it is all mirrored in the lower, which is the physical world. Everything that happens in the physical world is directly related to the higher realms. Everything that happens in the higher realms is, okay, you get it. And so within, so without, how we spend our time within, in our minds, the things we think about, the things we tell ourselves, the things that we hope for, they are mirrored in the outer world. And so this is kind of, like the law of attraction in some way, or manifesting your destiny or the things that you want, right? Creating them through affirmation or, whatever, mantras or visualization or creating physical objects to kind of incite a chain of events that, it manifests something in your life. So things like vision boards. Okay, so we look at this and we think, we must find a way to speak to ourselves well. We must find a way to speak love into our life, if that's what we're looking for. To feel well, to feel ease, to feel aligned with that universal cosmic consciousness. And when we begin to live, and people even, it's kind of even a stereotype. You meet somebody who is, highly spiritual, or somebody who is, like really into meditation or yoga or whatever it is. Kind of this like zenned out, just kind of a little bit detached from the ins and outs of regular everyday life. Yeah. We're manifesting, well, not me, I'm not that zen, but manifesting into your life that energy, because that's where you're putting your thoughts, and your thoughts change how you perceive the world, how the world exists to you. And that's powerful stuff. That's also the, archetype of the magician. It's all left to perception. So here we are, balancing, figuring out how to balance all of this. And a very simple way, and I'll just end with this here in a minute. Very simple way to begin this process if you don't know where to start. It really is, and you can just, if you can't think of anything, go on one of the, search engines, whichever you use, and look up a list of affirmations. Things that you can say to yourself. And at first, you'll be reading them to yourself, basically. And it might feel silly, and it might feel like, why am I doing this? This is, it's kind of dorky or whatever. But as you really continue to do it, and you really do talk to yourself in a meaningful way, you'll begin to really believe what you're saying. And these are things like, you are the most beautiful being I've ever met. Or I don't know. You can do whatever you put your mind to. You are able to control your reactions. You are living a meaningful life. You get to decide. You know, and so on. And we need to tell ourselves these things. It doesn't just come naturally. We're conditioned to believe the opposite of a lot of this stuff. That's deeply, deeply coded into us. And so we must do the work to undo it. It's not easy. Might feel silly. But it's worth it. It's worth trying. All right, Virgo, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It's free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all, and they mean a lot to me. They really, truly do. Okay. I think that's it. All right. I love you. Take care of yourself, and we will talk in just a few days.